Excuse me. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello and welcome to Footy JUDGEMO, to the National League. The return of the Nobbins, of course, from the holiday. Looking refreshed, looking good. Wearing England shirt, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Euro start today, people. So we're excited. I'm excited. I'm supporting Italy, of course, in this Euros as ever. Of course, we're here with Rory, of course, and Nobbins. Tom might join us, might not. Dan is out today. But we're here to talk about a couple of transfers, of course. Bruno Guimaraes to Manchester City. The new Arsenal without a number 9, with all false nines. This is what Rory did a video on this yesterday. If you haven't checked it, it's Rory Talks Ball. You're going to find it in the description, of course. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, everyone. People, listen, the Euro starts, but we got to do the National League first. And then we go into the Watchalongs. Rory's doing a Watchalong on TIFO, so go and support Rory. And also myself. So you're going to have 2 screens, myself and Rory, on one of your cell phone, one of your laptop while you're watching. On TIFO, you can find my TIFO. I'm trying to get to 100 community members on TIFO, so help me out. Use JUDGEMO. Someone, please put the link in the chat, please, if you can. Hit that like button if you can. Support that channel. Let's get to 100 likes right off the bat. Nobbins, how was your holiday first?
It was very good, thank you. I've come home, and I don't know if you can hear it, but there's something else coming home. It's football. Football's coming home, guys. Yes, come on, the Euros. I'm so excited. Yeah, football. Yeah, a holiday. Really good, thank you. Relatively sun-kissed. I don't tan very well. But yeah, lovely food, lovely vibes. Still got involved in the chats. Still found time to insult Rory, which is what it's all about at the end of the day. So yeah, good stuff.
Good stuff. How are you, Rory? Excited
I'm good.
for the Euro?
I'm good. Yeah, competitive football is finally back, so life can resume.
What do
And
you
the
mean?
transfer
It was
window's open.
competitive this season. You literally almost won the league.
No. As in,
If
we've
it
just gone
wasn't
for
for
like.
the referees, you would have won the league.
I mean, it's
No.
friendlies.
As in, we've just done 2 weeks of non-competitive football, and that
Oh,
2 weeks
yeah.
went dragged on for a long, long time. But now we are back, and I'm ready.
So, guys, let's start with Manchester City. We haven't spoken about Manchester City for a while. Of course, there is the lawsuit, which went silence, which tells me that it wasn't that big of a deal until Arsenal leaked it. But that's a different story. We'll talk about Bruno Guimaraes and the situation with Bruno Guimaraes, the release clause. I'm done talking about Manchester United. I am tired of talking about Erik ten Hag. If you guys want to talk about it, it's up to you. If you want to touch on it, it's completely up to you. You want to say your opinion, it's up to you. But I want to start with Manchester City. You guys want to touch on Manchester United? Your opinion about Ten Hag staying?
It's funny.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I saw they're investing 50 million into Carrington to basically do all of the things that Cristiano Ronaldo told them that they needed to do, but they terminated his contract for saying it out loud. So, yeah, that's interesting. But other than that, Ten Hag stays. He'll probably do a bit better now that he's got some people around the.
You think he's
around
gonna
the
do
place.
better?
Only because I don't think he'll be allowed to make the same mistakes with recruitment that he made previously. So I think he's just going to be. There are going to be people doing that part of the job for him that will probably do a better. Like looking at the players they've been linked to recently, they're not from the Eredivisie for a starter, which makes it a change.
Yeah, like Matthias de Ligt, Dutch, Ajax.
Okay, other than De Ligt. that is true. Have they been linked to him? I didn't even see that.
Yes,
Okay. Oh, maybe he still does have a little bit of a say in it, but yeah. But no, I think they'll do a bit. I mean, they can't really do much worse than they won a trophy.
They can't do much worse. They can finish below Newcastle. Did he finish below Newcastle?
No.
Yeah, they did. They finished 8th. No. They finished ahead.
No.
Yeah.
No, because they bumped Newcastle out of Europe by winning the Carabao Cup.
So
the lion doesn't
FA
concern
Cup.
itself with the opinions of the sheep.
The FA Cup. They finished 8th, right? And Newcastle finished 7th.
So yeah, so they finished below Newcastle. So they can now finish below. There's no one. There's no one to finish below. This is it. This is the top 8.
Oh, there are. There's another 12 teams. Now let's see how far we can go.
Ipswich
you guys think they can finish below?
Yeah,
they can finish below West Ham or something? No.
No.
Maybe maybe Wolves next season if they can keep hold of some players. I think they might do well again.
But we don't. They can get close to the top 4 at all, like what people say.
They shouldn't. It'd be impressive if they do. To be fair.
What, United? I mean,
if after all of this they finish above Chelsea, like Chelsea fans should just.
Yeah, well, they're not getting top. Sorry, Rory, go on.
I think outside of the kind of top 3, I still do think it is difficult to predict the seasons that they could have. If United can keep the main sort of core of the squad fit for the season, they add a few good players in over the summer. Maybe Ten Hag did do it the previous season. It was terrible football, but he did find a way of shithousing his way to 3rd, actually. Yeah. So it's plausible. It is plausible, but yeah, we'll see.
I'd be very surprised.
Yeah. I don't know.
Same here. To be honest, I'll be very surprised if they finish top 7. If they finish ahead of Newcastle, Aston Villa, and Spurs, and Chelsea, I'll be very surprised. Very surprised, by the way.
I'd be surprised if Ten Hag
because I doubt they're gonna get top players. This is what I keep saying. People keep saying, wait for the transfer market. This guy Branthwaite played for Everton.
He's 40%.
40% ball position.
He should be in this squad. Big up Branthwaite.
This is what for me and you guys disagree, and me and a lot of people disagree. When I look at a player, I look at a style of play. He played under Sean Dyche's defensive football, never had to defend in spaces, never had to command an area by himself. It's always blocks, it's always defending in bulks, defending in line, committed players around him, doubling on forwards. He never had to do the one-on-one in like 40 yards around him by himself
PSV?
when his team plays high line. So I never seen it. He plays for one of the most defensive teams in the league. Their average 40%. Go to check the positional, the positions of the players, right? This guy is not tested in a big environment. Like if you even check someone like Lewis Dunk, for example, or Van Hecke, you can judge how good or bad they are if they go to a team like Arsenal or City. Why? Because they play high line, they defend in spaces, they defend one-on-one against forwards. You can pick, oh, they're good, they're bad. This guy Brantwaite, 21 years old, he looks all right. He looks good. Every time I watched him, looks good. But he's on a Maguire looked all right at Leicester City. And that season that he looked good, the average 47% ball position under Brendan Rodgers. This is why when he went to Man United and he defended in spaces, he looked bad. It's not his game. He doesn't know where to stand.
He can defend. He definitely can defend space, though. He has done it for everything. He did it for PSV as well. I like Brantwaite. He should be in the squad. He should be starting. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what Southgate's doing. Why are we not taking a left-footed defender that isn't called Luke Shaw? This is England talk. We'll do it later. I'm annoyed.
Yeah, I'm not. If you want to rely on Everton players to win you the competition, you'll never win it. Like
you say that as if we're not it's probably going to be Mark Guehi instead.
Pickford is one of the worst goalkeepers. One of the worst national goalkeepers for the top teams.
Name the bad game he's had for England.
See, that's where you actually. This is what I don't do that. I don't do is for England.
What, John
for the
Preston?
Clubs. He isn't great.
Crazy.
Jordan Pickford is not great. And the thing about goalkeepers,
he has to be competent.
The thing about goalkeepers is that it's all about the intangibles, the moving across the line, leading the team. Pickford is a bozo, in my opinion. Rash, doesn't make the right decisions, hoofs the ball forward when he should pass it at the back, for example, makes his own decisions. That's how I view him. Every time I'm watching the guy, he wants to be the guy that hoofs the ball forward and Rashford runs after it, or Saka, or whoever, or Harry Kane, and instead of passing the ball at the back. That's why I don't like Jordan Pickford. I think Jordan Pickford is where he belongs, Everton. With all due respect to Everton, a lower half of the table team.
That's fine.
This is why the England national team should have a better goalkeeper. If Germany has Neuer, and
we don't. He's the best we have.
Exactly. You have Ramsdale. Should have been the number one. But
you want Arsenal's number England. 2 to be England's number 1?
And that's the thing. Arsenal betrayed England.
Well, crazy. I agree. Ramsdale should have been England's number 1 anyway. But after this season, you have to put Pickford in. You can't put
exactly. I agree with that. But maybe that's why England don't win the Euros.
I don't like that.
There's a lot of reasons we won't win the Euros.
David James went to the, what was it?
Euro
2004
and 2000.
No, that was a 2004 was David James, and he was with West Ham in the Championship at that point. They had a good tournament. I don't think the placement of the league's that relevant.
England is the only team that pick player like this. Nobody does this.
Who are you going to pick? You're not going to pick Arsenal's number 2.
That's the issue. There's no actual viable.
No, but here's the thing. Even when Nick Pope looked all right, they never picked him as a number 1.
Yeah, but he is shit.
With what?
With his feet.
But he's much better than Pickford with his hands.
Yeah, to an extent. But I'd rather have Pickford than Pope. Even when Pope was playing well. He's so bad with his feet. The thing I don't like, the one thing I don't like is when people say, "Oh, but he doesn't play badly for England." That annoys me because
I don't think he plays badly for Everton, by the way.
No, I don't think he plays badly for Everton, but just because he hasn't screwed England over yet doesn't mean that he. It's like when people use it for when Harry Maguire wasn't playing at all for United, and people are like, yeah,
sure.
but he's never let England down.
Can I ask
You're just waiting for them to let.
Can I ask you guys something? Why do you have this energy? For example, we're gonna go to the England now. Listen, guys, let's hit that like button. You guys are slacking in the likes.
Coming on.
Let's get that.
Coming on.
We had a discussion when Nobbins was not here. Why does Foden deserve to start? Okay, are we judging players based on their? Hold on. This is not an agenda.
We just got back. Why are we already starting with a Foden conversation?
It's not a Foden. It's a Saka conversation. It's not a Foden.
It's even worse.
I'm gonna try to, because I wanted to. I thought about this question after I finished the show last time, Rory. We say that Saka plays well for England, so he should start. But Foden had a magnificent season, but he should start. And Foden, Rory, you think Foden has been great for England when he played?
No.
Okay, but he has been amazing for Man City this season. So he should start. Do you see where I'm going, right? Or no?
No, but I see where you're going, because based on what I just said, that doesn't make sense.
You have to pick one. It doesn't make sense because Cole Palmer now deserves to start based on the season he had.
No, because I'll tell you why it's different. I think Foden is a brilliant number 10. The issue is it's him or Jude Bellingham.
I don't agree.
So I'm not saying X player who's actually not had a good, for example, Maddison, right? We haven't actually got a 10 that's played particularly well for England. But if there was a replacement that's played well for England in the past but not had a good season, and I was trying to put them in, I'd understand it. It's not, Saka hasn't had a bad season. Saka's had actually a very good season.
He's had a good season.
And he is England's best right winger. So the issue is where you put Phil Foden. And you're comparing it to Jude Bellingham.
But hold on.
I'm not.
On the right side, who had a better season, Cole Palmer or Bukayo Saka?
I ain't no one entertaining Cole Palmer. We need a winger.
Why?
Because he's not a winger.
He's not a winger. He's not a flat out winger. I agree with you. He's more of an inside forward.
Yes, he's going to occupy too many central zones, which is where I want Foden and Jude to be. I'm not interested in even entertaining Palmer starting. I'm not even interested in talking about that. There's no world in which he should start. I like Palmer a lot.
Because of what? Because of what?
It's partly due to profiles, mainly due to the fact that his competition would be Saka, and as Roy's just established, Saka's one of the first names on the team sheet. Not even in terms of quality, by the way. Obviously, quality as well, but more so due to the fact that we're not taking like Grealish, for example. Our only like proper wingers are like Gordon and Saka, aren't they?
Which is they should start, in my opinion.
Yeah,
if you're going to play a touchline wingers, or if you're going to play wingers, you should have Saka and Gordon. If you're going to say wingers. Here is what I always think about when I think about national teams. You should adjust for the players.
Right.
Does that make
Adjust
sense?
what? Adjust what?
Adjust your plans for how good the players are. Listen, if you get an exceptional talent in England, for example, like Foden or Cole Palmer or even Saka or Bellingham, shouldn't the national team manager adjust for that exceptional player that have had 38 games or 50 games at the club level playing a certain way?
One should utilize their best assets.
Exactly. Isn't it easier for you to adjust your 7 games or 6 games for better than that player that played 50 games adjusting for his national team?
But
who are we talking about here? Sorry.
Whoever.
That's the issue, though, because I think there's too many of those types of players, right? It's not like we've got one player that we should adjust the team for. Do you adjust the team for Foden, or do you adjust the team for Bellingham?
It's about who had the better season.
Or do you adjust the team for Kane? Like, there's too many.
Who has the better season? That's it.
Do you adjust the team for Trent?
Number one, he has to adjust the team for Trent. Number one. Do we agree? Or like, I'm not English.
I don't know what you mean by adjust the team.
Adjust the plan, adjust the tactics, adjust the formation.
But you seem to be trying to direct us down a line by which we have to design a team around one player. I don't agree with that.
Number one, you adjust the defense. Okay, Jurgen Klopp, when he adjusted the team, right? He adjusted the team in spaces in terms of defense and the midfield. He adjusted it for Trent. Forward line, he adjusted everything so Salah and Mane could be the inside forwards, right? You can do that, Nobel. It doesn't have to be everything one player. It can be adjusting the team for Foden and Trent in the same time.
And I think you do that by picking the right formation, the right system. Yeah, that's what you do. You pick a system.
I think Cole Palmer had a magnificent season. He should be rewarded by actually starting.
It's too early for him. There are intangibles with international tournaments. He's never played in an international tournament before. That does matter. His main competition would be Saka. That does matter. He's more of a wide player who wants to come inside into the middle. That's where Foden and Bellingham will preferably occupy spaces. That does matter. Even Kane dropping deep into those spaces. There's going to be this. I know a totally different tangent, but this is why I don't think Chelsea should really be looking at Elise, for example. I think they'd be almost bumping into each other and going into each other's spaces. I like Palmer a lot. He shouldn't start for a number of reasons. Have him on the bench, obviously, that's fine. But I don't care that Palmer's had a better season than Saka. They're very different players. We need Saka to start. Are only natural. Is there only a natural elite winger in the squad? I like Gordon, but he's not elite. He's not this level of Saka.
Yeah, the big factor for me is defensively. The work rate that Saka has defensively, and actually just the ability that Saka has defensively. I don't think we can lose, especially in a team where the right-hand side of our defence, whether we play Walker or Trent there, is weak. And we saw even against Iceland, they were trying to expose that side, and they effectively exposed that side when it was Walker and Cole Palmer. People have to look at just the number of goals scored this season. There's more to play in that role than just scoring penalties. So
if we play Walker, if we play like Trent in midfield to accommodate Kyle Walker getting a start, I'm going to be so annoyed. Walker should not be anywhere near the starting 11. I can't believe he's going to be starting Sunday, is it?
How are you going to start at the back then?
Because he's gonna do a stupid thing where he plays Trent as a pivot midfielder, and I'm going to be really annoyed.
With who?
Play Trent. Rice. Play Trent at right back. He's a right back.
He's going to play right back.
Trent, Rice, and Bellingham. Who's going to start on the left?
Foden.
He's probably going to shove Foden there and ask him to do his best impression of.
He's not going to look good, and then
Ryan Giggs.
No, it's incredibly obvious what the team's going to be. It'll be Pickford in goal. It'll be Walker at right back. Stones and Gay, he probably is the centre back pairing. Trippier at left back, assuming Shaw's not fit. Then it'll be Trent, Rice, Bellingham, Saka, Foden, and Kane. He gets Trent in. He gets Foden in. He gets Walker in still. He gets all of the players in that he'd get backlash in if they weren't playing. He won't care that Foden's nowhere near as useful off the left. He won't care that the right-hand side is problematic defensively if you've got Trent as the pivot player and Walker as the right back. But that's what he'll do.
Yeah, and that's just mental. There's so many mistakes. And Rory's right. If you take bets on what the starting 11 is, it will be that, depending on fitness, because I know Stones is like a late doubt, but that's what he wants to do. And there's just so much wrong with that team. Why are we accommodating Walker? I just
have this feeling he's going to bench Phil Foden.
No, he won't. He won't do that.
He won't.
But I tell you what, at that point, he may as well. He genuinely might as well bench him at that point, because what is anyone expecting him to do when he's... Because if Shaw was there and overlapping fullback, left-footed, he can overlap, he can come inside, that's not an issue. That's fine. Who's going to be our left-back? It's going to be Gomez or Trippier. What footed are they? Yeah, Trippier. What foot is he, Rory?
He's right-footed, and he is like very right-footed.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't exist. That left foot is a myth. So there is not going to be an overlapping fullback for Foden to work with, and he's just going to be like sat there like a plank, doing nothing, contributing nothing. Not his fault, by the way, obviously, but it's just.
How would you play, Nobin?
I get myself at left back, and I'll overlap. No, I just like to point out as well. By the way, I think I'm in the minority here. I know you don't need to pick. I'm personally a country over club sort of guy. So I prefer England to City. Just want to throw that out there. So if I'm a bit more passionate than usual, that's why. That's why I want to make it clear. This is why when I say get rid of bench Walker is crap. I have no. I'm not. My City bias does not cloud my England bias because I prefer England. I just want to put that out there.
Starbucks Wi-Fi is here.
Hey, we're joined by the
Starbucks Wi-Fi is here.
Biggest England fan. What the hell?
Joined by Scouts, not English.
So
we can't hear him. He can't hear us. He's muted. You're muted.
There we go.
There we go.
God. Oh my.
Yeah. So.
God.
So we got Tom. Excellent. So so my team obviously is dependent on Shaw being available and fit. But if he is available and fit, then there is no. Yeah, or maybe he gets
that
fit.
Player even exists in the world.
Or maybe he becomes fit.
I've seen this guy was last season.
After the group stages,
he played
whatever.
30 minutes this season, if I'm not mistaken.
But Germany play with 3 number 10s. Okay, they play with Gundogan and Wirtz and Musiala. That you can, and sometimes they play with Leroy Sané in addition at right wing. And you cannot.
by the way.
Yeah,
Sometimes Muller plays.
You cannot convince me that England cannot play with 2 number 10s in the same way that City do, in the same way that Arsenal do. If we are living in this world where Bellingham must play as a 10, which I don't agree with, if we're living in this world where that must happen, then just have Foden and Bellingham as the 10s. It's really not complicated at all. Get Walker off the pitch and get Trent into right back. Allow him the freedom to invert if he so desires and to occupy those right half spaces, to pop in those Kevin De Bruyne balls, for example. Tom will know all about Trent's use versatility as an inverted fullback rather than starting him outright in midfield, where I don't think that's his strength. And then the rest of the team picks itself. It's the annoying thing is it is not complicated and it is not difficult. Even if we wanted,
can I go ahead, finish it?
Okay, say one more thing. Even if we wanted to say, Southgate can't manage and he's rubbish and all they can do is play 4-4-2, I don't know. The most vanilla 4-3-3. What is the most vanilla midfielder for 4-3-3? It is a 6, it is an 8, it is a 10. Declan Rice, Roy can attest, is quite good as a 6. That's a reasonable statement. Phil Foden, sure we can all agree, is quite good as a 10. It's pretty good.
Only at the club level, by the way. He hasn't played that in the national team.
Oh, he must be crap at it then. Where has Jude Bellingham played throughout the majority of his career?
Crap. Why you're taking this? You're talking country over club. He hasn't done it.
Where has Jude Bellingham played the majority of his career, Mo?
8.
Oh, it's weird. Wasn't he being described as one of the most exciting, interesting box-to-box midfielders of his generation? With the comparisons with the likes of like Ilkay Gundogan and Steven Gerrard, etc., pretty good box-to-box midfielders, if memory serves. What I've just constructed there, JUDGEMO. What I've just this is my English.
I'm gonna tell you the difference. I'm gonna tell you what it is.
What I've just constructed there is a very vanilla, bland 6, 8, 10 midfield, which even someone like Southgate could do.
You have a problem with it.
There's no problem. There's no problem.
The problem is, tell me your defense with this midfield. Foden, Rice, Bellingham.
That's not my midfield, by the way. That's not my midfield.
What is your midfield?
I'm playing a 4-4-2 out of possession.
This out of position, in position. Okay, tell me what is your defense?
Oh, I'm sorry. I need to delineate between the two.
What is your defense?
Is everyone fit?
Yes, yeah.
You're touching at me. I need to ask. Trent.
He's not taking an injured player. Luke Shaw said, I am fit, by the way.
Right, okay.
You guys know that, right? Luke Shaw in an interview said, I am fit.
He's fit.
But Luke Shaw hasn't played a game for like fucking 4 months. There's a difference between being fit,
so that's up to you. But I'm saying everyone is fit. Everyone is fit, but he hasn't.
Right. Luke Shaw.
Game. By the way, tactical talk is how I started YouTube. Go ahead. You guys know that.
And you're having a go at me for distinguishing between in possession and out of possession.
I am trying to get you tactical things. Go ahead.
Right, so
backline.
Shaw left back.
All right.
I want Branthwaite left centre back, but I can't have that. So you're gonna have to have Gahey at left centre back. Stones right centre back.
Stones.
Trent. Right.
Trent. Back. Okay. And the midfield is Bellingham, Rice, Foden, Saka on the right, Gordon on the left, Harry Kane up top. Am I mistaken here? Is that what you want?
No, I want Foden. This is out of possession. Foden on the left. No. Yes. Foden on the left. Saka on the right. Rice and I want, again, in my world, I want like Mainoo or Wharton to start. Well, it'll be Rice and another midfielder.
Tell me the lineup. No, so I can debate you with it, so we can agree or disagree on it.
Okay,
okay. Well,
I don't want to get it wrong, so let me get my
picture. I am literally
looking
looking at the England squad in front of me right now.
Okay. I'll even give you a team with Luke Shaw injured. Yeah.
I don't care. Nobbins, you got the Euros website in front of you. You have
Gomez at left
in front
back.
Of you. Gomez
at left back.
All right.
Gahey left centre back.
Yes.
Stones right centre back.
Trent's
right back.
All right.
Left midfield Gordon. Right midfield Saka. Bellingham, Rice, Foden, Kane.
All right. Here is the thing about this can actually work. However, there is a couple of things. Trent is going to invert, I'm assuming, right? This is what you mean. This is what you want.
I would like...
In position, Trent is going to invert.
He's going to have the license and the freedom to push up and invert. Yes, and occupy those right half space zones. Absolutely, absolutely. I would like to see it as a diamond, actually.
The only problem with this lineup, right, is at the back line, it might be exposed when Trent inverts on transition, unless Declan Rice is the guy that is going to do this. Why I'm saying this, and I know why Southgate might not do this, because remember Bellingham this season has played false 9 all the season. He wasn't tasked with any defensive duties the majority of the time in La Liga. He wasn't. At Dortmund, he was a brilliant 8, by the way. The box to box, carries the ball. He was great. Right?
And that's what it'll be next season, by the way. Ain't no way he's being
played.
That
is why he wants to play Kyle Walker at the back. I disagree with the Trippier thing. I agree with the Gomez thing because that is more defensive in that side. Right. But the problem with that lineup, on transition, it might be you have... Okay, so hold on. The problem with this lineup, you have 5 attackers flat out, right? Yep. Including Bellingham. And on the defense, you have 5 of them as well. Declan Rice, Trent, Guéhi, Stones, and Gomez. In my opinion, Stones has not had his best defensive season this season at all, by the way.
When he's been fit,
defensively, John Stones has not had his defensive. Since last season, Stones basically play in the midfield. And actually, he was higher than Rodri the majority of the time on the ball. And even off the ball sometimes, they tend to stop the ball early. So Stones, the times he played as a centre-back this season, he didn't look great. That's why he wants Kyle Walker. He wants speed at the back. He wants speed for the transition.
May I counter?
Players. Go ahead.
Every system's going to have a weakness. So... I don't.
Your weakness is defensively. You're gonna outscore every
system. There is no system which is perfect. Every single one can be exposed in a certain manner.
You'll have to sacrifice something.
Yeah, of course. And the way I've looked at it is, and yeah, sure, maybe City can get caught out on the counter, but at the same time, we do have some incredible defenders in there. And I know you said you personally don't think Stones has done well this season. I disagree. When he has been fit, he's been brilliant. We can all hopefully attest how good Gomez has been this season. I'm sure Tom can tell us more on that. And Declan Rice, you have what is someone who is maybe, I don't know if I'm going too far here, is he the best defensive transition midfielder in the world? Could we maybe say that?
In England.
Who's better at him in Europe?
Defensively,
in respect of defending transitions, yes. I don't know. We can say top.
Let's say
5. We can say one. We can say elite, one of the best. So if this team's weakness is defending transitions, but we have one of the best defensive transition players in the world in our team.
By himself?
No, not at all by himself. Because you've also got
next to him cannot stop in the midfield. He needs to go back to right.
No, because you've also got you've also got Bellingham in there who can do that. You've got a very good. I mean, we've spoken about the defensive attributes of and work rate of Saka this season. Gordon likewise. Guéhi's a good player. Stones and Gomez very solid defenders. Again, when Stones is fit. So I don't know if that's even necessarily a bad thing. And again, how many sides realistically is that going to be an issue with anyway? We should be looking. We've got some of the best attacking players in the competition. We should be looking to utilize them while still being a balanced side. I appreciate it. It has to be balanced.
My lineup would look like this. This is my lineup, okay? My lineup would look like this. Would be Kyle Walker, Stones, Guéhi.
I hate it already.
Back three. The reason why I want that, I want speed to cover at the back line. Okay?
Guéhi's never played left back though, so
there's no left back here. There's back three, flat out, back three.
No.
Yes.
Well, you can't do that.
He's not going to he's not going to be able to cover the width as well because he hasn't played at left back.
Yeah. Well, who's your out of possession left
back? What do you mean?
So when you're defending in a back three, yes, but when you're playing in a back three, it is ideal if you have a situation where your wide centre backs can also play fullback. Yeah, because if they get dragged into areas out wide, They know how to shake themselves up defensively and not suddenly get exposed, which is why Joe Gomez should be left back, because Joe Gomez has done that this season. Also,
I'm not going to play left back and right back. That's how I'm going to do it.
I mean,
you're not going to play back four.
I also don't get Kyle Walker.
No, yeah. So I am not going to play back four because your team is not equipped, because you have Trent Alexander-Arnold, and I want to accommodate him.
You're talking about.
I really want to accommodate.
Frail, and you want to play as a back three.
I want to accommodate him, so I'm gonna.
This is the Serie A Mo coming out right now. I reckon.
Yeah, I want to really accommodate.
I bet you want Kane and Watkins up top, don't you?
No. There are 3 players that
felon.
In my opinion, there are 3 players two players that you need to accommodate in this team. Number 1 is Trent. Number 2 is Phil Foden. Everyone else have a set position. Do we agree on this? Do we agree on this? Everyone else in this team, Bukayo Saka is a touchline winger. Gordon is a left winger. Everyone on the team, Declan Rice, is a central midfielder. Even Bellingham is a number 8. The only one that has been moving around in positions is Phil Foden. Even Phil Foden, on paper, for Manchester City, started on the left side, and in position, Phil Foden move inside the pitch, because Gavardiol is the one that plays a left wing sometimes. Sometimes Phil Foden starts on the right side and comes inside. Trent Alexander-Arnold. You have to find a plan to accommodate these 2 players for England. You have to.
I have
to play. I think, but you said at the end there is a flaw in it. Every system has a flaw. In my opinion, you have to play Kyle Walker to accommodate for having Phil Foden and Trent on the pitch in the midfield, because he has the speed. People just underestimate the physicality of Kyle Walker in transition, stopping quick wingers. Someone said before that you don't need him in the Rory said you don't need him in the first stages, right? You don't need.
He's. We need him for Mbappe.
So you are playing Foden on the left.
In position, probably, yes. 3-4. In my opinion, we play 3-4, 3-4-3. This is my lineup. Gordon, Saka, Kane, Foden, Bellingham, Declan Rice, Trent. Yeah, that's too offensive as well. It's too offensive as well.
I like my team. It's got a proper back 4 out of possession. It's similar to City's Champions League winning system in respect of Stones, who's playing a right back that day, pushes up to the right centre of the diamonds. Trent can do that. It gives Foden the license to drop deep in possession and link up the defence to the attack, which is excellent at. If you're worried about Jude losing his 10 status, he can still stay close up to Kane. You've got actual wingers in Gordon and Saka. You've got a brilliant defender in Gomez on the left. You've got Stones on the right, and Guéhi's maybe the weakest of those midfielders. He's more protected in the central centre back. I think the team I've made works very well.
I mean, it would have been fantastic if we had, a left-footed centre-back who had a really good season for his club, helped his team keep the second most clean sheets in the league and had experience of playing left-back before. I swear there's someone like that who plays for Everton who didn't get called up for some stupid reason.
Tarkowski? Is that who you think of, Tarkowski?
No, he's younger than that. He's younger. I think United want him. If only Southgate had called up Branthwaite, then we wouldn't have these problems where we're trying to shoehorn people in.
Crazy.
Play a back 3 in possession of Branthwaite, Gomez, and Stones, and you're golden. You're golden. Then I just look at it this way: this team has too much attacking talent to set up defensively. It has too much, and we don't have enough defensive talent to rely on it to hold out. So what you need to do is fall back on that attacking talent. Realistically, his lineup should be Pickford, Trent, Stones, Guéhi, Gomez, Rice, Bellingham, Foden, Saka, what's his name? Gordon, Kane. But there are issues in terms of the players, i.e. Bellingham's fantastic, and I think Foden can be as well at these late runs into the box. But they only really work, all things considered, if you have a striker who can draw attention. Now, Harry Kane can do that, but Harry Kane very rarely gets into the fucking box nowadays because he's trying to play.
He's trying to be Michael Carrick. He's trying to be Pirlo or Paul Scholes. It's pissing me off so much.
So then England don't have a box presence because the striker is holding fucking Declan Rice's hand. So then there's no box presence. So then all the system falls apart very quickly. If it was me, I would have went mental with it. I had to play the back five. I think I put it in the group chat. We'll play the back five with Saka left wing back.
Yeah, Tom was moving mad. Tom was moving mad that day. I did not agree with that, by the way. I toyed with the idea of having Saka on the left just because just for the width, but then I did figure out a way to accommodate it, and I ended on the diamonds because
Saka to left wing back.
I thought that 100%. Made sense.
Back five of Pickford, Trent at right wing back, Gomez, Stones, Branthwaite, and Saka left wing back.
What do we think? Do we think he can bench Trent Alexander-Arnold, guys, at the end after all of this?
He will. He might do. If it doesn't work in the first game, the first player that gets benched is Trent. 100%.
Really?
Not justifiably, but it will be.
The issue is that he's going to play him in midfield, and he's not going to play as well as he could do because he's not a midfielder, and this is why I don't like. This was one of my many gripes with Southgate.
We all say this, and at the end, to be honest with you, we know the lineup is exactly what Nobbins and Rory said in the beginning.
And he'll play that lineup, and then we'll still get exposed down that side, more because of Walker than because of Trent. But the blame and the focus will be on Trent and not doing the defensive duty from that position. And then Trent will get the blame, and then he'll bring in fucking Conor Gallagher into the midfield later into the tour. I promise you that's what's going to happen.
Oh my God. What was the game? What was the game in the World Cup where we drew? Was it against the US? I remember I was watching it with my...
Can I ask you guys something for real?
And I was like, this is the game for Foden. Bring on Foden. And the camera cuts, and it's Jordan Henderson warming up. I wanted to cry.
Do you know what was even better about that, Nobbins? Jordan Henderson then started every game from that point because Southgate shit himself and went to old reliable. Trent Alexander-Arnold should not be dropped at any point in this tournament because there is no single player in the England team who is more creative and more of a game changer than him.
Mm-hmm.
Fact. That's not to say that others aren't bad, but Trent is a literal game changer. Southgate is a dickhead who doesn't know how to use him. I know I'm going to see Kyle Walker. I know I'm going to lose my mind at Kyle Walker and how he loses concentration and how, shock horror, he can't always be bailed out by his pace because sometimes the mistakes he makes are too big. Bailed out by just pure pace. But then guess what? People will still run the narrative that he's still a better defender than Trent. I don't care if Trent isn't as good a defender as Kyle Walker. Trent is so much better attacking-wise. It makes up for
this season he's been better defensively, Tom. Let's be honest. Trent's been better.
When you have a player like Trent, who is such a game changer in the attack, you build your team around them. England are the only national team who could have a talent like Trent Alexander-Arnold and not use him properly. Imagine if Germany got a hold of Trent. Imagine if France got a hold of Trent. Now imagine if Holland got a hold of Trent. Do you think they'd be going, sorry, lads, Dumfries is playing? Sorry, lads, Pavard's playing? No. They go, we will sacrifice a couple of players here and there to get you into the team. But I know after two games, Southgate is going to put Kyle Walker in and we are going to lose any sort of attacking output from fullback, which is then going to put all the pressure on the wingers who are going to be doubled up on because no one rates Kyle Walker or Joe Gomez attacking-wise. So the wingers are going to get doubled up on. Everything's going to be funneled into the middle. Kane's going to be holding Declan Rice's dick in the middle of the park because he's not in the box. And England are going to lose in the round of 16 or the quarters because guess what? Their defence isn't as strong as it was previously, so they can't just hold out for 1-0s.
Yeah, agreed.
Pretty much. Except Walker's going to start from the very get-go. I don't even think it's going to be a thing that he'll be faced. He got given the vice captaincy today, so that's a good sign. But no, I think this is the issue, right? I think we do not have any combination of defense which is good enough to keep to get a 1-0 win, right? So on that basis, don't play defensively, don't set up to get a 1-0 win, and go, do you know what? We'll win 4-2, we'll win 5-3 because we have some of the best attacking players in the world. Such a good
point.
But Gareth Southgate won't do that because he doesn't have the...
If anything, I wouldn't be shocked if he tried to play a back five. He would look at all the attacking talent and ignore that because we've got a bit of a weak defence, so play more defenders. Also, let's just address this as well. Conor Gallagher. Why is he here? He is a problem in himself. Whenever you ask people for praise on Conor Gallagher, it's nothing technically. It's all physical. It's all, he runs, he tries hard, he's this, he's that. That's irrelevant. That's a sprinter. That's a fucking Mo Farah could do that if I needed him to, but I wouldn't put him in midfield. Conor Gallagher is actually a net negative for your midfield because guess what? Yes, he looks busy, but he looks busy because he's constantly out of position, constantly misplacing passes, and constantly leaving his midfielders exposed. If you put Conor Gallagher in a 3-man midfield, he makes the other 2 midfielders have to do more work than if it was just a 2-man midfield because he's constantly getting dragged around everywhere because he's got no brain cells. But that is apparently the guy that we need in the midfield. That's apparently the guy. I know what Conor Gallagher is going to be the Jordan Henderson. He's going to get 30 units every game, and he's going to be useless with it every single game. It's pointless. It's stupid. And we're going to waste substitutions. We're going to waste another tournament because we have a manager whose CV is relegation with Middlesbrough.
But that,
and then we sit there and wonder.
You know, it's crazy though. All that, and I'll still be saying it's coming home because I will live in delusion because that's what England fans do.
You know what is as well? Southgate, you sit there and go to these international tournaments. They're decided by the thinnest of margins, barest of all margins. Go through the top nations. Which of them managers could you see Gareth Southgate outclassing tactically? Could you see him outclassing Deschamps? No. Could you see him outclassing Domenico Tedesco? No.
I don't rate Roberto Martinez, to be fair, so maybe I'd...
That's where you draw the line, but then who knows? Roberto Martinez has actually won something in his career. Southgate hasn't.
True.
Who is the Spanish manager now? He's probably better.
I don't know names.
Don't know.
Jamie Nagelsmann.
If he's Spanish, it literally could be any Spaniard taken off the street, and he's probably got a better.
Nagelsmann for Germany's better. Philosophy. You know what? I'm actually going to go find the list of all the Euros managers, and we're going to go through one by one, and we can figure out where exactly Gareth Southgate sits tactically. Right, so
Spalletti for Italy. I'm checking Spain.
So you got Deschamps for France. So he's better than Southgate. Zlatko Dalic for Croatia. I mean, he beat Southgate.
Martinez for Portugal.
Who else is there? Ranić for Austria. Ranić's better. Luis de la Fuente's better. Ronald Koeman, you could argue, has achieved more in the game than Southgate.
He is a bit shit, but he probably is still better.
Vincenzo Montella for Turkey.
Sounds good.
Probably better.
Good
Luciano Spalletti, better.
Bold.
Genuinely, you look at this list. The manager that I know anyway, because it's like fucking Slovenia. I don't know who the Slovenia manager is, but like I can give Southgate.
Is there any chance you guys get like knocked out of the group stage?
No.
Could you imagine?
No, I'm not. Look, I'm going to go on record. Right? I'm going to go on record and say we will top the group.
Serbia, Denmark, and Slovenia.
Yeah, we'll top the group by virtue of the quality of our
on England's head. We know that for sure.
By virtue of the quality of our players and the quality of the individuals. Not because of our brilliant manager expertise or whatever. But I fully expect that in fact, I've got my predictions. I actually don't think I haven't got us down to meet a big boy until like the semis. I think, to be fair. Oh no, never mind.
We meet France in the quarters, don't we?
If you count Croatia as I got France in the semis for some reason. Why have I got that? I don't know. I've got us to meet Croatia in the quarters.
I don't know this tournament because isn't this tournament stupid in the fact that a certain amount of teams that finish in third place go through?
Four.
Yeah.
Of the six groups, 4 of those groups third place.
So would we be better off just
prediction thing on FootMob? It looks cool. I would recommend doing it.
Will we technically then?
We can do it now.
Kind of like tactically.
We can absolutely do it now.
Let's do it.
FootMob.
I've got England to win against Germany in the finals. It's coming home.
I've not got England winning. I'll be completely honest. I've not got England winning.
How do you do that? How do you do that?
It's on FootMob, I think.
It's on FootMob. What is it called?
I just went on the app on my phone. It was like the first thing that came up to me says, "Do your Euros predictions."
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro. I'm gonna try to find it.
Bottom right, if you click more, the top thing is Euro prediction.
Not on my phone, to be honest. I'm on
so mine is effectively, as soon as we come up against a good team, we get knocked out. However, which way that comes.
Haven't England only really beaten like one good team, and that was
Germany?
Albeit a pretty shit Germany. It was a pretty shit Germany, and we had to like drag our way through that.
Yeah. exactly.
I've got Holland winning, to be honest. I think Holland are just
crazy.
Ronald Koeman.
No Frankie.
I think it's the defense that's just sticking in my head.
Nathan
if England had a defense, because Holland can basically play a back five of Frimpong at right wing back, De Ligt, Van Dijk, Nathan Ake, and who's the left wing? Oh, I can't remember the left wing back now.
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know. They just called up Matson, but he won't play.
Matson,
he might
that's
play
it. That's it.
But
So you've got two really good attacking wing backs, 3 really solid centre backs, and because they've lost De Jong and I think Guimaraes was the other one, they can go and play 2 pretty defensively solid midfielders, because then the midfielders they've got now aren't really of the Frankie de Jong level in terms of passing. So you look at that, it'd be like Reinders for AC Milan, and I can't remember the other one now. But then you look at the attack. I think that attack is just going to be quietly efficient.
To be honest with you, on paper, there's only one team that is stronger than England.
Van de Ven. That's what I forgot. Mickey Van de Ven as well. So you can play him somewhere as well.
On paper, is only France stronger than England.
I disagree. I think Portugal is stronger. I think
no. I have a big issue with Portugal. I have a big issue with Portugal that people just seem to gloss over. Diogo Costa
Portugal as well is very strong, yes.
Diogo Costa, their goalkeeper, is shit. And I don't know why he's always talked about like this fantastic goalkeeper who's going to become an £80 million player. I've seen every single time I've watched Diogo Costa play, which I actually watched a fair amount of the Portuguese league because of Amorim, which was pointless. Diogo Costa is a mistake waiting to happen. He's
got a mistake in him.
Eccentric, it's mental.
Yeah, but he's elite on the ball. Like the one of the main factors behind us struggling against Porto in the Champions League was Diogo Costa, because compared to pretty much any other goalkeeper in the Premier League, he was just absolutely evading our press with ease constantly, and it wasn't even like he's got a brilliant defense in front of him. I rate him.
We definitely have some of the best individuals.
Maybe it's what you come down to. I just hate it when goalkeepers are looked at with their main attribute being they can pass the ball. I would much rather have a goalkeeper who's a little bit shit on the ball but can save some shots and doesn't make the mistakes that Diogo Costa's made. I mean, I look back at when we've played them, because we played them a fair amount. Every single game we've played against Diogo Costa, there's been a mistake made. And some of them have been horrendously bad. In the World Cup, he's the reason they went out to Morocco, because he's tried to come for a ball and got beaten to it by the striker. Horrendous goalkeeper mistake. In the Champions League this year, I think Arsenal's the first 2-legged tie where I watched where he didn't really make a mistake. But even then, Arsenal weren't really at their greatest in that tie. So is there much that can be said there? I just don't rate him as a goalkeeper. I don't think he's any good. And the idea that he's this future of goalkeeping, I think he'll cost Portugal again this tournament. That's why they won't do anything. Pickford's had a good year. Pickford, though. Yeah. Pickford is a good shot stopper. Pickford makes mistakes, but Pickford is a good shot stopper. I don't think Diogo Costa is a good shot stopper, because he doesn't play in a team which needs a good shot stopper in Porto. They don't face as many shots. I liken Diogo Costa probably harshly to Simon Mignolet, but he can pass.
But yeah, fair. But I don't think Portugal will face that many shots either. They've got a solid defense, solid midfield in front of it. In theory, I don't feel like they should concede too many shots either.
But my point there is, in the international stage, I think Costa's biggest problem will be a lack of concentration. So the fact that he might not be facing as many shots might fuck him over, because the ones he does face, he's not expecting and he's not ready for, and he switches off and he makes the silly mistakes like he done for Morocco.
Maybe.
That was a massive cock up. And also, let's be real, even if you want to give Portugal's squad the nod, Roberto Martinez's international pedigree isn't very good, and he's hated in all of Belgium. So
I can't believe that they gave him the keys to Belgium's golden generation. That is mental.
And we gave Southgate the keys to ours. So
yeah,
hopefully we don't.
Very true.
already
So
have.
thankfully, this team's still young. I know there's like Kane's getting on a bit, but the main core, Saka, Bellingham, Trent, Odin, Rice. There's another 2 or 3 tournaments still in them. That's the
who's
saving
everyone's
grace.
dark horse, by the way? Who's everyone's like sneaky team that they reckon will get somewhere?
Serbia.
Belgium.
Serbia.
Because they were my dark horse in the World Cup and they got battered, so I'm sticking with them
Belgium
again.
for me.
First of
Guys,
all, I'm just gonna say thank you for no one for saying fucking Turkey again, like fucking last Euros where everyone's going look out for Turkey, they're gonna do this, and then they lost every single game. I can't lie.
Big up Serbia.
I've got a sneaky little suspicion about Scotland. Just something that sneaky.
My suspicion is they're gonna get battered and finish bottom.
I don't know why something's just sticking in my head with Scotland. And it's fucking McTominay and McGinn.
John McGinn.
McTominay McGinn against Musiala, Wirtz and Gundogan. Crazy.
I'm looking forward to that game.
Is that? Oh yeah, that's tonight, isn't it? Jesus.
Tonight.
Big up.
Yeah.
Kai Havertz, my Golden Boot winner. He's going to be there.
Kai Havertz. We'll see how it goes. Listen, people, over 400 people.
He left back for Germany.
Guys, we are slacking the like button. Guys, we are not even on 200 likes. We have over 400 people here.
Disgusting.
Guys, the like button is underneath your live chat. Please hit that like button. Also, join my community on TIFO. I'm doing Watchalongs. So as Rory, actually, on TIFO. Once you subscribe, you'll see both our Watchalongs. I'm trying to reach 100 members in my community. I'm doing a Watchalong for the Euros today on TIFO. Just use JUDGEMO as a referral code. It's the pinned comment up there. Just click on the link. It will take you to TIFO. And you need to subscribe using JUDGEMO. It's free. Doesn't cost you a penny. It takes about 5 seconds to subscribe. It is so easy. But TIFO and YouTube are different. TIFO will have a lot of features. Of course, you can actually join us on the Watchalong. There is GIF files. Also, there is going to be a tactical board. There is going to be a lot of features on TIFO. It's a platform for Watchalongs. It is, I believe it's a little bit better than, it's more equipped for Watchalongs than YouTube. So go and join TIFO. You'll like it. You'll have your avatar, your own avatar. You'll have your own GIF files. There are threads and private conversations on the side on the Watchalong. Just give it a shot. Join my community. Just click on the link and it's free. And also hit that like button. We cannot be over 400 people and on 130 likes. That is unacceptable. Let's go to the transfer market a little bit. Enough of this England. Then England gets knocked out in round 16 and all of this just bullshit. And we'll go back to the same thing.
Oi. Chill.
Speak about, I think it's actually going to be very funny if England got knocked out of the group stage. Very funny.
If that happens, I'm never coming on another show ever again.
Why? It's funny.
I think so
it's stand-up comedy.
It'll be funny for me.
It'll be funny,
It would be mildly entertaining. It would be quite.
I would not be entertained.
Just to see the reaction, because it would be. If you remember what it was like when we went out to Iceland, imagine that but tenfold.
I've blocked that from my memory.
Imagine that but tenfold.
No, that didn't happen.
This team doesn't get out the
It didn't happen. Joe Hart did not make those mistakes, and it was a great day, and we won that tournament.
Joe Hart was so bad that tournament. Oh my god!
Harry Kane, that game, Harry Kane didn't create anything. Was absolute shit at that game, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, they brought on Jack Wilshere, who hadn't played all season, to try and save the game. It's just
we don't talk about that. We don't talk.
And then he reached the Euro finals in 2020.
Yeah, and then bottled it, yes, he did. Took a lead and then bottled it and did shit all with it, and it was an embarrassment. We got absolutely dominated that game.
I mean,
disgusting performance.
The reason England didn't win Euro 2020 was because Mason Mount, and I stand by that. How are you letting Marco Verratti beat you to a header at the back post?
Yeah, that was crazy.
If it was Bonucci that had beaten to him, fair enough. Top centre back. It was fucking Verratti. I can't think of many smaller players in world football. And Mason Mount gets beaten to a header.
If we had Raheem Sterling of that tournament now, oh my gosh, we'd win everything. Oh, better times, man.
Anyway, listen. Let's talk about Van Dijk offer from Saudi Arabia. Hasn't renewed his contract yet. His contract expires next year.
Yeah.
Can he leave actually with that massive? You know how much they're offering? They're offering him what, like how much, like 600K a week or something like that, or something like 600, 800K a week. Do you think he should go? Do you think he can go?
I don't think he's going to go. I don't think we're going to sell him. I'd be very shocked if we moved on any real starters this summer. You're going through the biggest upheaval the club's had in 9 years. You don't also get rid of one of your better players in that window as well and keep the pressure on him. I'm hoping that we do sort out contracts for all of them. I know that Salah does want to stay. That's the big one. So that's a massive one. I'm sure Van Dijk wants to stay as well.
Why would he stay though?
Because he loves the football club.
Oh,
simple. So did Jurgen.
Yeah.
I'm being serious. By the way, this talk about loving the football club versus 600K a week. Bro, even what's his name, Kevin De Bruyne, sat in an interview and said, "Well, you got to look at the money at the end. I'll earn as much as I earned in all my career, and it's not like you're gonna win the league next season.
Well, with Salah,
I'm gonna have the same for Salah, and also most of the Liverpool fans for Salah was like, that offer is always going to be on the table. Do you think the same offer will be always on the table for Van Dijk?
Oh no, I was on about Van Dijk. I just don't see him. I don't. Again, I could see that offer still being there for Van Dijk in a couple of years. Like, that's the thing. But Van Dijk is also a player who can compete at the top level for another half decade because he's that fucking good. He could keep playing till he's 37 at the very top level because he's just that good of a defender. So he doesn't need to now look at, I need to try and get me last big move in my career and do that. That offer's going to be there for him. And he's the captain of Liverpool Football Club going into a new era. I don't see why you would go at this point. I really don't. I don't think he is planning on going anyway. I don't think we'd let him go either. I just see us sorting out contracts for everyone. I don't know how long the contracts are going to be, whether it is 2 years or Trent will be longer, obviously, but I'm assuming Van Dijk and Salah will get 2 years, which you're fine with in a sense.
So you wouldn't advise him to go to Saudi Arabia for 600K for a 3-year contract?
No, because in the nice possible way, the Saudi league is shit, so there's no competitiveness.
The money though.
Yes, the money though. Oh yeah, sorry, the money's not going to vanish. I hate that argument. Oh,
he's not Rishi Sunak who didn't have Sky TV growing up.
Pissing me off.
That's De Bruyne's
Van Dijk living in the
Let me. By the way, I forgot to do a couple of the super chats related to England before we do that. United 10th position next season. Eric Ten Hag, clip it.
Oh, I'm good. Did I miss the Ten Hag talk?
Yeah, you did miss the Ten Hag.
Oh my god, that is so fucking funny that they've kept the 8th choice. You know exactly what the plan's going to be, by the way, don't you? I think we said it on the last stream, Mo. Get to October, United are bad enough form. Ten Hag gets sacked and Southgate comes in. They just couldn't do it now because we the international tournaments. That's exactly what will happen.
Yes. Nabil is saying defending transition is a team game. No other country have a Walker, but they get on fine. England's strengths in their front five play to your strengths.
Let's recruit Nabil as the manager.
Not having at this point, not having a Kyle Walker is a positive for your team. It's not a negative.
Well, Nabil, thank you so much. And for Miss Gunners, say Netherlands defensive depth is stacked.
Yes.
Ake, De Ligt, Van Dijk, De Vrij. I don't know who else, to be honest.
Their centre back depth is stacked.
I'll read it out for you. They've got
their Frimpong is a wing back.
Van der Ven, Maatsen, Frimpong, Geertruida, De Ligt, Ake, Van Dijk, De Vrij, and oh my god, Daley Blind and Denzel Dumfries.
I don't think that's stacked at all, by the way.
That's for an international level, yeah.
Do you know what is one of my favorite things in football? When footballers have alliterated names, Denzel Dumfries is such a good name.
What like
he's an absolute shit player.
Yeah, but do you hear his name? But did you hear his name, Mo?
Yeah, he's an. You know,
Mo is speaking like a man who's had to watch too much Denzel Dumfries for his life. He's had to know.
You know his name is Dumfries.
Yeah.
He's so bad, you have no idea. The guy has the lowest football IQ on earth.
There was so much hype around him at one point. When was that? Was that at the
because we hyped him because he had like 5 goals, 8 assists or something like that. Inter wanted to sell him. Bro, the guy cannot
Arsenal
has
went to him,
a first touch.
I remember
worse
that
than
you were
Lukaku and
trying
Peter
to
Crouch.
run. I remember this moment. You were trying to run Denzel Dumfries to Liverpool back in like the summer of 2022.
No, Man United.
You were doing anything to get him off your hands.
Bro,
they cannot stand
Denzel
him.
Dumfries is one of the. I'm gonna say this. Aaron Wan-Bissaka has better footballing abilities than Denzel Dumfries. Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
But does he have an illustrated name?
He's just physically stronger than a lot of people. Runs quick, very quick. But he is absolutely... The one who scouted Denzel Dumfries when he was young should be sacked, should not have the job in football scouting, in kids' trials. Denzel Dumfries is one of the worst footballers that played for Inter ever in terms of on the ball.
I thought Mo was about to go off on another time, like he did in that watch along. Whoever brought Alexis Sanchez back to the club, go fuck yourself. Alexis Sanchez, go fuck yourself. Davy Klaassen, go fuck yourself. Whoever brought Davy Klaassen to the football club,
I am convinced someone made money under the table from this Davy Klaassen guy. The guy came to Inter, had a contract, played. He didn't play 15 minutes all season, and they actually ended the contract. They gave him a 1 year. Someone got half his wages in their pocket for this guy to get a contract. He was an unused guy. Bro, he is a fake Van de Beek. Like, it's not even a fake Christian Eriksen. It's a fake Van de Beek, bro. This guy is so bad. He
played a big part in your Champions League.
Which is why they proved me that this Ajax talent pool is all fake. It's all fake. These guys play together good in the Eredivisie together. All of them physically shit to play in other leagues.
I mean, I don't know why you had high hopes for Davy Klaassen. He was actually dog shit at Everton. He was so bad at Everton.
And then he went to Ajax and was amazing. Van de Beek, amazing at Ajax. By the way,
Klaassen's career, it's horrendous.
Amazing at Ajax. Failed at Juventus, benched by Eric Dyer at Bayern Munich. That's how bad it is.
Because I think Davy Klaassen went to like Werder Bremen after Everton and was shit there as well.
And
like everywhere Davy Klaassen went outside the bar, these people.
Inter is like a free agent. A free agent. Let's get the guy on the books.
He'll be a free agent this summer.
To be honest, Van de Beek is the definition of how a player that should not leave the Eredivisie. Van de Beek, the guy is absolute shit. Van de Beek, this guy is shit.
I always thought there was something there with Van de Beek, though, a little bit different than the other ones.
Like I went to Everton, couldn't hold the 90 minutes.
He was actually all right. He was actually all right at Everton. It was just he wasn't in a good physical shape. But he was actually all right. I think his big problem has always been the injuries and the fact that United bought him without playing whilst having fucking...
Somehow, Hakim Ziyech, his talent just turned into
the more you say,
great.
Actually produced anyone good.
Timber.
Yes. On paper. Rory, still on paper.
No, I've seen enough.
No, you haven't. No, you haven't.
No, he's got a screamer in the Spring game.
Team, the 1.5 game he played, and the youth teams are not enough.
That's enough for me. It's enough for me.
So if I look here at Ajax's top 10 sales, you've got Anthony. Anthony at number 1 for 95 million euros. Frenkie de Jong at number 2 for 86. That's too bad. One of the best.
Frenkie de Jong is not a bad option, but he has been in and out of the team, bro. Frenkie de Jong got benched by 36 years old Busquets.
De Ligt was number 3.
Failed.
Lisandro Martinez, number 4.
It's good signing, injured.
Mohamed Kudus, number 5.
Very good.
Great, good.
Davinson Sanchez, number 6.
Failed.
Jurrien Timber, number 7.
Hasn't played yet.
Hakim Ziyech, number 8.
Wasn't great. Had to release him to Turkey.
Van der Beek, number 9.
One of the worst players to play for Manchester United.
Edson Alvarez, number 10.
Good signing.
I don't think he actually was that good.
Milik, number 11.
Who?
Arkadiusz
Milik when he went to Napoli.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good signing for Napoli.
Halle to Dortmund.
Didn't work, but he was sick. He was ill.
Huntelaar to Real Madrid.
That didn't work as well.
Klassen to Everton, 27 million euros.
One of the worst.
Schneider to Real Madrid.
Who?
Schneider.
Wesley Schneider to Real Madrid.
It worked very well.
Suarez to Liverpool.
Worked very well.
That worked.
Calvin Bassey to Fulham.
That worked.
They'll probably make a profit on it, to be fair.
Yeah.
But they ran out of juice. Really, they
now you go back to Zlatan, Mido to Tottenham Hotspur. You know what I mean? Now these signings worked, but that's it. Back in we're talking about the modern thing.
Yeah,
I mean the modern ones. Didn't he buy that striker this summer from Metz and then didn't play him for 6 months and then sent him back to Metz?
Who?
What was his name? Mikhajirai or something? Some Georgian striker.
No,
but like they bought him from Metz for like 20 mil and then just loaned them back to Metz 6 months later because he didn't play him because he can get it. Brian Brobby.
Guys, let's get to 200 likes at least, guys. We cannot have over 500 people here almost and then not have 200 likes. Going back to Van Dijk, isn't that the link to Linioro guy? Isn't that the replacement for Van Dijk long term?
No,
18 years old replacement for a 32 years old.
If we are replacing Virgil van Dijk with Linioro, we are fucked next year because Linioro. I'm going to preface this by saying I am not a dickhead who watches League One. I don't watch it. I will not put myself.
Are you
through.
saying that anyone that watches League One is a dickhead?
First part was Gat.
Did he just
disagree? You are a dickhead.
Hey, if you're from France and you enjoy it, be my guest. I just don't like the league. I think a league named after a fucking delivery company is not the highest of standard. So I can't.
The Premier League is named after a bank for the last 30 years, 40 years.
Yeah, it was a very reputable bank.
Okay,
and it had a cool little lion. It had a cool little lion. It was just like crest. It looked.
Bro was not paying attention in 2008.
No, I was 6.
Not good enough. You should be able to date on the global financial crisis. It's not good enough.
But yeah, I can't say I've watched this Leniado kid. Apparently, he's very good. Real Madrid won him, which is always normally a good sign.
He's 18 years old, bro. You aren't getting an 18 years old to challenge for the league, though.
He should come in to replace Matip.
Do you not think there is an amount of money that Edwards will just turn around and say, yeah, for Van Dijk? There's an amount. There has to be an amount of money.
60 million, 70 million. That's it.
If it's a mad amount, then yeah. If it's a mad amount, then yeah. But I think Edwards is also smart in knowing that Virgil van Dijk is the best centre back on the planet. So how do you replace the best centre back on the planet?
Kanji.
Saliba,
get out of here, man. You can't even start for France. You can't even get ahead of fucking Upamecano.
Yeah, but that's mental.
I can name names.
Maguire.
Let's be real.
I can name names. Rudiger. I can just go on and names.
Yeah. You're naming a lot of good defenders there. None of them are better than Van Dijk, but the
Gabriel. Who has been better this season, Gabriel or Van Dijk?
Van Dijk was better than Gabriel. Let's not take the piss here.
Toss in Adrobio.
Christian Romero is rated higher than Van Dijk this season.
Romero, what are we doing here? What are we doing here, Romero?
Anyway, the problem is that you don't understand is that you need at some time. I think Liverpool now are making the mistake that Inter made when we won the treble. Keep holding into the old guys. You got good money for them. You can replace them. Replace. You know what? If you hold to Virgil van Dijk 3 more years, he's going to leave on a free instead of you getting a 60, 70 million for him and replace him.
I would agree with you.
Unless you grow money on trees in Liverpool.
Isn't it like he's slowing down though, Van Dijk?
But you are ignoring the fact of we are going through the biggest change the football club has had in 9 years.
Yes.
I can't get Arnie Slot in and just go, all them players that, were really important for us last year. Yeah, they're fucked off now. Enjoy. Go. You're in a new league.
We know it's Jurgen Klopp's fault because he left.
No. If Jurgen Klopp was staying, I would be more inclined to maybe let one of them go. But Klopp's not here, so my new manager that's coming in needs at least a season with a squad that is at a good level to understand everything. To give him the fair shot. It would be a stupid thing to bring Arnie Slot in and then go. So, our 4 best players from last year, Alisson, Van Dijk, Salah, Trent, you got one of them left. Enjoy. and it's the goalkeeper.
Good luck.
It's just not going to go very well, that is it? So you keep your world-class players while you can. That's a simple thing.
So you don't think Liverpool will budge for this at all?
Unless it touches 9 figures. If someone offers
100 million.
If someone offers 100+ million for Van Dijk, I think there might be a serious think about it.
Go with
beyond
unrealistic, unrealistic expectations.
Sorry for wanting 100 million quid for the best defender on the planet.
He's 32 years old.
Yes,
he's quite good at football, though.
He's amazing. He was amazing. He's the best. I agree with him. He's the best centre back at the current time for me.
This isn't career mode where the moment a player turns 30, they suddenly start losing everything they had as a footballer. No,
so you don't think
if anything, I think footballers. No, I don't think he is. I think he's just come off the back of one of his best seasons at the club, all things considered, on an individual level. I think that sports science is improving to such a degree where players' primes are being extended and players' levels of staying at the top of the game are being extended.
I always look at this. So I always look at this. It's all about expectations. Like, for example, if you are guaranteed top 4, it's better to get the money now and just get him a competent defender and just start to rebuild.
But you're not guaranteed
to compete, though.
This is it. It's all about Michael Edwards and Arne Slot's expectations, right? If they're trying to win the league, yes, he's absolutely 100% right. But if their aspiration is to get top 4 this season, rebuild, I think this is the right time to rebuild then, because he hasn't renewed the contract. He has 1 year left.
They've got too many win now players, though. They've got to win now, haven't they?
Exactly. So Jurgen Klopp should have.
You're not going to keep certain players happy if you just settle for top 4. Like Trent Alexander-Arnold is not going to sign a new deal if you sell Van Dijk.
So you think Liverpool sit together, Tom, and they think we can win the league next season with Arne Slot?
I think the players can 100%.
Oh, okay.
And ultimately,
I don't think so. By the way, I don't know anybody.
I don't think we can.
Liverpool aspiration is to win the league.
No, I don't think we can. But last year, I didn't think we could win the league. But everything coming out of Liverpool was we can win this league. We had Trent saying it. We had Szoboszlai saying it. We had Van Dijk saying it. We had Salah saying it. The players' mentality and the players' mindset is different to the fans.
But
I agree with you. But I think realistically, you got a new manager. And he needs to embed his, like, the way he plays and all the stuff in the players. I don't think you're going to win the league against Manchester City, who are strengthening, and Arsenal, who look to strengthening this season. Unless something dramatic happens, unless Havertz, Saka, Odegaard, Rice get injured, and Pep Guardiola and Man City get found guilty and get like 15, 20-point deduction. Yes.
I mean,
be realistic here. Am I being like be very realistic?
You've got to sort of keep yourself in that race, though. Like,
of course,
we need to try and keep these players happy so they stay at the football club, whilst also revitalising the squad in the correct way. So we can't just sit there and sell Van Dijk and Salah and then expect Trent to sign on for a new deal when he's got Real Madrid sniffing around him, because he won't. Because he's not going to sit there and waste his prime years battling for top 4. He's not going to do a Steven Gerrard, because he's not Steven Gerrard. So he will go Real Madrid. And ideally, you don't lose Trent Alexander-Arnold. So you've got to manage that correctly. We can. Our squad is the 3rd best in the league. But it's a comfortable, like, top 3 and then the rest. I don't think another team has a squad that reaches Liverpool's, Arsenal's or City's. So it's just about making sure that you stay in that area. And let's say for whatever reason, Arsenal had an injury crisis and then City hit a bad run of form or whatever. You've got to make sure you're in that position to capitalise, because we've got the players for it. And Edwards has appointed the manager who he believes can, take the reins from Jurgen Klopp. We're now going to see it in action. We haven't appointed a manager to just settle for top 4. That would be stupid. That would be a backward step. So I'd like to think that the focus is on challenging next year. And beyond that.
Okay. I know Nobbins have to go, unless you're staying for a bit.
I had to go at 3:35.
Oh, he gave us 5 extra minutes. He's just
I'll give you an extra 5 minutes because I'm kind.
On Bruno Guimaraes. People want to know what is happening with Guimaraes. If you
come to the right person, because I'm on the phone to him right bloody now.
No, like, you think this is gonna happen, or you're gonna turn your attention to a different midfielder? Newcastle are playing hardball at the current moment.
It's annoying. I don't care what's going on. I'm greedy. Activate the release clause. I don't care about context. Just pay up. Rice was over 100 mil. He seems quite good. He seemed to have been worth it. I know you can make arguments about Caicedo and Enzo, but they were also over 100 mil. This might just be the going rate for a midfielder who you expect to change your midfield in the Premier League, if it's a Premier League to Premier League transaction or whatever. So just do it. Cheeky plug. I did a good YouTube video on players City should sign, and guess what? He's top of the list because he covers Rodri's weaknesses perfectly. Lots of City fans are saying Kimmich. I would be disappointed with that, quite frankly. Bruno is literally perfect for us. It's also perfect for Arsenal. Even more reason to sign him. So yeah, we just have to try to sign him. We have to do as much as we can to sign him, or someone of a similar profile. But in terms of immediate impact and like for like Gundogan, we're not going to find a better alternative. Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm just being incredibly professional. I'm just being handed food there. Thank you so much. So yeah, that is the state of play.
Food and protein shakes and stuff all the time. It's fine.
So yeah,
I hope Bruno G stays. I don't want him going Man City. That's a signing that worries me.
Is that because he is a perfect?
I think if he goes to Man City, he gets exposed. I don't like him.
Oh, shut up! Shut up! This is why I'm leaving.
How can you get exposed? I'm sorry. How is a midfield pivot of Rice, of Rodri and Bruno G going to get exposed?
I don't think he lives up. I don't think he lives up to the hype.
Why? What attribute in particular?
I think he's too slow. Be
specific.
I think he's too slow. He's not great on the ball. When I watch him, he's not great on the ball.
You've not just said that.
No,
not really.
Because the thing was, he looked good. Look, he looked good alongside Sean Longstaff, but if you take him out of that,
Rory, I hate you so much.
I genuinely don't think Bruno Guimaraes. I literally, I don't think Bruno Guimaraes is all of that at all.
Bruno Guimaraes covered the most distance of any other player in the Premier League last season, and won more duels than any other player in the Premier League last season. And Rodri's two biggest weaknesses are covering space in transition, not winning duels.
Covering distance doesn't mean you're quick.
But he is quick, Mo. That's the thing. His transition defending is very good. He's got long, powerful strides.
He is a little bit slow, but that's fine.
He's very slow, Rory. Not a little bit slow. He's very slow.
I wouldn't
top speed and acceleration. He is just very slow.
It's not a car. We're not. He gets across the ground. He gets across the ground well.
We don't need 0 to 60 times for Bruno G. Can he stop transition attacks?
You're talking about Bruno like he's Martin Demichelis. He doesn't need to be Nico Williams.
God, Demichelis was so fucking slow.
He doesn't need to have like 90-odd pace on FIFA. He just needs to be.
I don't play FIFA. I stopped playing FIFA about 4 years ago. I don't.
40 years ago.
4 years ago, I stopped playing FIFA. 5 years ago, in 2019, I stopped playing FIFA.
Yeah,
so I don't know the players' rating in FIFA. All I know is that Bruno Guimaraes, for me, Bruno Guimaraes is similar to Jorginho, but he tackles more. So hear me out. Let me finish. But he tackles more. I don't think City need that guy at all.
Literally. You've not watched my video, have you?
Not yet.
Great. Go watch after this and then chat to me, and you will be convinced. That's how good the video is.
I really hope he goes to Man City then.
You hope he does.
So
do I. Why not, Rory? Why not?
Because he complements Rodri perfectly.
Oh, that's weird.
I actually don't think Bruno Guimaraes is even better than Kovacic as a football player at all, in my opinion.
I don't know what's going on here.
I really don't think Bruno Guimaraes.
Bruno is Kovacic to the next level with threat in the offensive third.
Kovacic, who can drive with the ball. Kovacic, who has a very good touch on the ball.
Bruno, who's one of the best ball progressors in the league.
Oh my God. We'll see. Maybe I'm watching someone else, to be honest.
Are you like watching Longstaff?
I'm really watching Bruno Guimaraes. I am not his biggest fan at all. At all.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't like his style at all, and I'm never changing my
When the
opinion
Newcastle,
unless
can we get the Newcastle fans? Let's have a.
Oh, they
fucking
don't like me.
Thursday
Oh,
effort.
they comment on the videos and
I
they say you have
wonder
an agenda
why.
against him.
I wonder why.
100%.
I've got your back, Newcastle fans. I
like
respect your
I like
footballers. Yeah,
Linton,
I
for
want Gordon in the
example.
England team. Yeah, big up
I like
Newcastle.
Joe
Wait.
Linton. Yeah, I said
Do you prefer Joe Linton to Bruno G?
he's completely different players. Joe Linton isn't.
This is how we dodged the question. That was very rishy of you.
But if you ask me, would you take? I wouldn't take him. I would take Joe Linton. Yes.
Joe Linton's at best a fucking battering ram. Bruno G has technical quality.
Technical. Oh, right.
Yes, technical.
Right. I need to go anyway,
fair,
but I'm going to leave anyway because I'm disgusted.
Wait. Nobbins, before you go, I need to ask my one more question. Douglas Luiz or Bruno Guimaraes?
Douglas Luiz with a heartbeat. In my mind,
No, this isn't real life. Not real life.
Not even a question.
I like Douglas.
I like Douglas Luiz a lot.
For me, they're the same age. One of them, even if I take the price out, which is double the price.
How far can we go?
Guys in the chat, Douglas Luiz or Bruno Guimaraes? Just type Bruno.
Amadou Onana or Bruno Guimaraes?
No, Bruno Guimaraes. Amadou Onana.
Oh, okay. We can not go that far.
Ross Barkley or Bruno Guimaraes?
Completely different two players. One is an
They both played DM last season.
Ross Barkley didn't play at DM. Played a little bit higher on the pitch.
Bruno's a 6'8" hybrid anyway.
Yeah, 6'8" hybrid. Bruno Guimaraes. Barkley is 8 and
I've got
10.
chips. I'm eating them.
Say that again.
Barkley or Bruno G? I don't need a full breakdown. Barkley or Bruno G?
In my opinion,
I want chicken
based on last season
and mayonnaise.
Ross Barkley. I would choose Bruno Guimaraes because Ross Barkley failed already at a top club, which is.
I'm so hurt and upset.
You so wanted to say Ross Barkley then. I know you, Mo. I know you, Mo.
Bruno G's.
You guys, you can tell, right, when I don't like a player's style and how he plays, right? No matter what you tell me, I don't like Bruno Guimaraes.
I don't know
why.
I
think he's a violent football player.
He is violent.
He's one of the best through ballers in the Premier League. He's one of the best progressors of the ball in the Premier League. He's quite more distance than anyone. He's one of the best goal winners in the Premier League. It's crazy.
Compensate for his slowness by rough
goal threat, crashes the box.
Can I finish? Long shots. Bruno Guimaraes.
Good at long shots, yeah. Go watch his Forest goal.
He compensates for his slowness by being violent on the pitch.
I don't agree.
I do agree with that.
Compensates for
Rory, it's because you have an agenda.
No, 100%.
No, he actually
on the pitch.
He
goes to injure players when he knows he's gonna miss the tackle.
He was just making up for the Havertz assault that happened earlier. That's all.
No, that was a tackle. He assaulted Jorginho.
That's not what the PGMOL says.
If you did that on a night out, you'd be arrested for it.
Don't do it on a night out then. Simples.
Well, he did it on the pitch.
I don't know where you're going.
The biggest issue he has got is violently picking up yellow cards. But if he goes to Man City, he won't get booked for that sort of thing. So,
guys, Newcastle fans, I do not.
I'm never going to sit and lie. My opinion on
Bruno this message. He's a fraud. I'm leaving now.
He changes the way.
They got Bruno.
And the problem, before I go, Nobbins. Before I go, one of the things that Pep offers is hiding players' flaws, like Jack Grealish. He left. This is one of the things that I'm afraid of. Bruno Guimaraes going to Manchester City, and at the end hide his flaws. He's too slow for me. In my opinion. And also his passing is not actually elite at all. He completes about 80% of his passes.
Again, I think.
Can I tell you guys something that you guys will find crazy? If you ask me tomorrow, who would you sign for your club, Bruno Guimaraes or Kobe Meno? Even based on the small sample, I would sign Kobe Meno.
I'd sign Bruno.
I would sign Kobe Meno.
You've got to compare when you look at Bruno G, the way Newcastle play. Newcastle don't want the fucking ball.
It might be Bruno agenda here. I just don't like the guy.
They need to. So
how honest can I be? I don't like the guy.
Mo, the point is, you mentioned his passing accuracy. That's as a direct result of the way that Newcastle play. He's not playing in a system where he's.
So how can we judge it then?
Because you look at the individual quality that he's got and the fact that he's been Newcastle's best midfielder.
He's elite tackler, you think?
Does he need to be an elite tackler? Because I class elite as
can I ask you guys something seriously? What do you think Bruno Guimaraes elite at? Elite, like 26 years old, He's going to Manchester City. He should be elite. And I'm gonna give an example to have a measuring stick, right? So I always like to do that. Declan Rice was one of the highest players in ball carries in one of the most defensive teams in the league before he joined Arsenal. So Declan Rice was the top guys in the ball carrying in a very defensive team. So he was considered elite at this. This is what I'm saying.
I mean, if you want to look at the stats,
go ahead, look at the stats. Yes,
Bruno G is in the top 3% of all players in Europe for take-ons. So
he's great in dribbling?
Well,
you know what? This is the definition of stats over eye test.
I don't think he's bad at dribbling.
If I ask 10 people, is Bruno Guimaraes a good dribbler? 9 of them would say
he's a good dribbler. I don't think he's an elite dribbler, but he's a good dribbler. He can take on a man. Yeah.
I just think he's going to win in the ball back. He covers so much ground. He wins the ball back so often. And if you can take that because the issue City have is that Rodri has the sole weight of responsibility of winning the ball back. And if he doesn't, then teams have an attack against
Can I ask you guys
something?
Rory, do you know that Douglas Luiz, who plays as an 8, and Bruno Guimaraes has a very close tackle percentages win during the game?
What about tackle volume?
How many more tackles have been attempted?
It's about tackle volume more than tackle percentages.
Per 90, right? He has I can tell you the numbers, right? He has 25% more tackles.
That's quite a significant amount.
So right here, I've got the numbers,
assuming that someone plays as an 8 and someone plays as a 6, I think again not a lot.
So Douglas Luiz play as a 6 a fair amount.
Kamara played most of the season. More than 20 games.
Kamara does ACL.
Yeah.
In 20 games in. So yes, half.
But even then, they were kind of more of a double pivot. I thought. Anyway,
the two always sat deeper because you'd have McGinn out on the left who'd done a lot of the dog work. So it did often feel at times in games anyway that whilst he might have been an 8, defensively he was sitting where a 6 does, because that's how Unai Emery sets that up. I've got the numbers here. Bruno G had 2.39 tackles per 90. Douglas Luiz had 1.7 tackles per 90. Which on the base level of it doesn't seem like that big a difference. For Bruno G, it puts him in the top 27% of all players of all.
So I don't do 25%. I compare both players straightforward. Do you know why?
Well, because it's just I'm
actually Aston Villa and Newcastle are very similar in terms of the way they play. Both have position and
yes and no, because they both attack differently. So
I actually think because Newcastle have a lot of injuries this season and their midfield have Longstaff and Joelinton, he looks like he is the elite player between them. But if Newcastle had someone else, he wouldn't look as elite, in my opinion.
But then I remember people using that argument for Declan Rice, that Declan Rice looked good because he was in a West Ham midfield, and then
because he excelled in something that is opposite to the West Ham plan, Rory. Does that make sense? He excelled in something that you wouldn't see in a team that plays that defensive.
No, I hear it, but I still think Bruno G excels in something that adds a lot
ball
to
carrying
the midfield.
Players in defensive teams do have to ball carry. That's more often than not the main outlet of attack, because they don't build out from the back. They'll either pump it long or they'll have someone drive forwards.
Just to be honest with you, I wouldn't pay 100 million. I think he's 50 million at max.
Yeah, look,
if Douglas Luiz is 40, how is Bruno Guimaraes?
Yeah, but Douglas Luiz isn't a 40 million pound player. That's the issue. Douglas Luiz should not be going for 40 million.
Okay.
Villa have to get rid of him, and they don't want to get rid of him in the Premier League. A Premier League club would offer 60 million comfortably for Douglas Luiz. I don't think Bruno G is worth 100 million. I think I said before, if Arsenal were to go in for him once his release clause is expired, I wouldn't want to go above 80. I think anything above 80
million
would be too much. Yeah,
80 million.
Yeah, but in the current market, you look at what other clubs want.
Caicedo is who's better, Caicedo or him?
I think Bruno G is better. I really rate Bruno G.
Than Caicedo,
I mean, I'll put it this way, Mo. If you're saying that he's not worth more than 50 million, you're saying he's not worth more
based
than...
on Douglas Luiz. Based on Douglas Luiz.
But
Rory actually explained better than me. Rory explained this better than me. He said it's the current market dictates.
Ruben Neves went for 55 million to fucking Al Hilal. And Bruno G's a much better player.
I have a dislike for this guy, Bruno Guimaraes.
Because he's not nice. He's just quite a violent, unpleasant person. But
I mean,
in my lifetime when I'm watching football,
I'll tell you what. Sorry, Mo. I'm just going through this list. I'm sorry. I'll let you get back to it. I'm just going through this list.
Go through your list.
The midfielders that have moved since like 2017 for a lot of money, they're all shit.
Probably all right.
Lavia, Nunes, Ndombele, Ugarte, Pjanic, Naby Keita, Oscar. Anyway. Jorginho's probably the best one out of that list. Partey, again, all right, but injury prone. Who else have we got? Neves, who I don't think is that great. Who else is there? Jovic, he's not even a midfielder. Why did Jovic cost 63? So now he's been banned for the entire season.
Bruno Guimaraes is a violent Jorginho minus the football IQ on the pitch.
Casemiro cost 70 mil.
To be honest, every time I look at Bruno Guimaraes, this is how I see. I see a violent Jorginho, right? That minus the football IQ that Jorginho has with experience about the small touches, creating angles and stuff like that.
Yes, but Bruno G is also much better physically. Bruno G is much better physically, though. So
he's better physically.
The big problem that Jorginho had, I think, in the first years in the Premier League was teams would just run by him. So yes, he was all good on the ball.
Do you guys know I had this opinion about him last season as well, even before the City move and everything? I just don't like the guy. I don't like how he articulates himself on the pitch. I don't like that brand. I can see why. I don't like the way he plays football. To be honest with you, one of the things I don't like about some of the players that are DMs, you have to be elite, right? In passing, like a Pirlo, if you're slow, like Xavi, even he's very good in passing. You know what I mean? If you're that slow, you have to be either elite in tackling, like a Makaleli, right? Or you have to be elite in passing. But that's the point. You know what I mean?
I mean, I can see that. I just quite like a little bit of shithousery. I can't help myself.
You like the shithousery?
Maybe it's the fact that my team needed a couple of shithouseries.
Can I ask you something, Tom, to be honest?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see McAllister is not the quickest, but you see the football ability that he possesses at his feet, McAllister?
Yes.
This is what I'm expecting from someone who is maybe not the fastest. You see my point here.
Maybe it's down to how highly I rate Bruno G back from his Lyon days, because we wanted him back then, but we didn't get him because we had to give Jordan fucking Henderson a new deal, which is my biggest gripe with Jurgen Klopp. I think Bruno G can have that ability on the ball. He just hasn't been able to showcase it in a fucking Newcastle side, which doesn't want the ball. He's not allowed to build up from the back and play to his centre backs and use, you know, his midfielders to build up in triangles and stuff, because Joe Linton is a truck, Sean Longstaff is shit, and Dan Burn has played a lot of centre back this year because Spotman got an injury. So it's like it's not been the ideal situation to see how Bruno G can play out from the back. I think if you put him in a better side, you'd see that side of his game showcased more. In the same way that you've seen it showcased more with Declan Rice at Arsenal. Declan Rice, before the move to Arsenal, was seen as this player who couldn't really drop deep and link up play. And now you can see that he's a very good player.
The last thing I'm going to say about Bruno Guimaraes, and this is just a very simple thing before we just end the show here. Do you guys see how many times people tell me that Bruno Guimaraes, like this comment, or this comment, he plays as a 6, he's going to play on an 8. While the first thing that Rory said, Tom said, Nobin said, the chat said, Bruno Guimaraes is an elite what? Tackler. Mm-hmm. But then they want him to play as an 8, a box-to-box midfielder. And that is what I don't understand. Is he an elite tackler? Is he an elite?
I think the thing is, Man City play in such a fluid way, but I actually think if they brought in Bruno G, you'd see Rodri getting forward a lot more.
So he's going to be the 6 again. So he's going to be the 6 again.
closer to that. But again, I don't think City really necessarily have a solid 6 and a solid 8.
If any team can manage Rodri and Bruno G both sort of alternating between who gets forward and who comes
That's
back,
why I don't want him to go to City, because I know Pep Guardiola will hide his flaws and he will actually make him look all right. The only one he failed to do is freaking Calvin Phillips, because he was fat, basically. Otherwise, it just didn't happen. Yeah, but the guy gained weight and Pep Guardiola called him out for it. He's a footballer that his coach told him stop eating food.
I think Bruno G
said that. I'm sorry.
To do what Bruno G done at Newcastle, I think has been massive, because it's been since he came in, he's been their best player in my eyes. I know that Isak's been there and Gordon's come in and had a good season, but Bruno G's been consistently at their best player in my opinion. When he's not in the team, they massively suffer. That's the biggest sort of praise you can give to a player of that ilk. He is that important to the team that they look so infinitely worse when he's not there, which it isn't very often either. So I wish, I'll be honest, I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place, because I really like Bruno G. I don't know if him and McAllister will be a great pivot together, but the football lover in my mind goes, I'd love to see a McAllister Bruno G pivot with Soberstein.
You're never going for.
We'll see how it goes.
No, because we missed our boat, Rory. We had the chance of signing from Lyon before Newcastle did, but Jurgen Klopp went above Michael Edwards' head and gave Jordan Bryan fucking Henderson a new contract, which not only was a fucking shit deal because Henderson was crap, but we then lost Michael Edwards for 2 years. So you know why I've ended up with Nunes? Because we gave Henderson a new contract. It all comes full circle. It's always Brian's fault.
We'll see how it goes. Anyway, listen, there's no time to talk about Arsenal. I don't want to keep the guys for long. Rory, today, he's going at 6:30 UK time. Rory has a watch-along on TIFO. Join TIFO. Use JUDGEMO as a referral code. It's in the pinned comment. You'll see Rory's watch-along. You'll see my watch-along. You can have both, one on your phone, one on your laptop if you want. You're going to enjoy it. Hopefully one day, me and Rory will do a double watch-along on TIFO as well. I spoke to the guys about that. We can do it. We can do that, sure, soon enough. Guys, join my community. Hit that like button before you go. Tom Little, he's actually have a surprise for you soon, guys. I'm not going to say it, but he has a surprise soon for the people, of course, soon. So we'll see you guys later today on the watch along. Make sure to subscribe to TIFO. It's a new platform. It helps me massively if you want. I know you all think I'm a fraud, which is fine. I'm never going to change my opinion about this until he changes my opinion. We'll see you guys. Rory's channel in the description. Make sure subscribe as well, people, in the description. One click away from your subscription. Rory Talks Football. Rory Talks Ball. Follow him on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. Great guy. Absolutely great. And we'll see you guys today on the watch along. And we are out of here, people.